You're listening to Lore Friendly, and once again, with me is Alice Bell and
Hello.
special guest Elianora.
Hey.
Way. Welcome to episode 76.
Yeah, special episode 76, where we could cover Fallout 76. But before we do that, let's ask Elianora, how are you doing?
I'm pretty
How are you doing, Elianora?
I'm pretty good. I got shelves today, so my house is home is turning up great.
Are they IKEA shelves?
No, they're like copies of IKEA shelves. They're my first piece of furniture that is new and not from IKEA.
Is there like a Finnish IKEA?
No.
Iaki.
Well, there is a Finnish furniture shop, but I think all the furniture are like made in China anyway.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's
that
pretty
good
much
old
how-
source of labor, eh? China.
That's basically what American furniture is as well in America.
And
Everything I
English.
bought from America was manufactured in China, according to the labels and stuff.
Yeah.
They were all made in China.
Oh, dear.
I don't know why. Everything is made in China these days. And yeah, so I have some.
I know the answer. It's called cheap labor.
Yep, and less regulated everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have my picture
Yes.
frames up. I got my shelves up, starting to look like a real house without just empty white walls. It's good.
Speaking of labor practices, did you guys hear of the whole hullabaloo with Rockstar?
No, I did not. Is it better or worse than
Well,
Telltale?
one of their head honchos was like bragging about the fact that their employees are working like 100 hours a week.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yes, 100 hours a week. That is insane. Because like a normal
That's
work week
awful.
is 40
Yeah.
hours, right?
How many hours are there in a week?
I don't know. Maybe it's less than 100. Maybe they figured out.
7 times 24. 168.
It's basically 14-hour days, right?
So, that's awful. That makes me want to cry.
So basically, just sleep and work and do nothing else, and they're bragging about it. Like, we are working our people to death.
There is a reason why people in the video game industry need to unionize, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like, it's almost like expected, I guess, that you would
Yeah.
work. Like they like plan it into like the whole development cycle. Like, and this game has been like being developed for like 8 to 9 years or something. like
Yeah.
that. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But then like at the end, there's like everybody's working 100 hours. It's nuts. Well, maybe not everybody, but they're saying like, some select people, and the worst part is when they sort of.
I bet you it's the interns.
The worst part is when they say like, okay, these workers are like better. They're the fucking model that other workers need to like, like pattern themselves after, just because they're the ones who are working like excessive hours, right?
Yeah.
It's not a virtue, more or less.
It's awful. It's completely unethical. I get tired enough doing a bloody 30-hour work week, never mind 100 hours.
Yeah.
And my work isn't really work. Like, I do fancy dress and I speak to some public members sometimes. Whereas they would be spending those 100 hours working away endlessly, typing and typing, hunched over a screen.
The worst thing is they probably don't get properly compensated for it. They're just expected to
No,
work.
they're not going to get overtime, are they?
Because it's American, I don't think overtime laws work quite the same as they do, for example, here. When you go over 37 and a half hours, you start accumulating some sort of overtime, and you get either days off or you get like better pay for those hours that you
Bonus
yeah
pay,
something.
For here, it has to be like negotiated, I think, by the union or whatever
Yeah.
here. So like at a normal job where you have like certain amount of rights and stuff like that, you get severance, you get time and a half for overtime. These are things that are sort of collectively bargained for by the union. Like every time there like a contract is up, like a union will negotiate like a 5-year contract with like certain rights and stuff like that. When that contract is up, you renegotiate and you get those rights, or you get changes or stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what happened, I think, with like the actors, right? The voice actors, they went on strike and renegotiated like the contract that they
Yeah.
had, and so, but there's no like government, like world or nationwide sort of standardization that would apply to all companies. They have that in Finland, where it doesn't matter where you work, it's a standard.
There is like a standard, and then there's like these huge unions for like white collar, blue collar, teachers, and so on. Like different for retail, they have different contracts, and then there's local contracts, and for even better like benefits and stuff. But basically everything is even if the certain field doesn't have a union of its own, it's still covered by the law, like basic rights, like minimum wage and whatever that are required.
And I don't know what their policy is in terms of overtime, but I would assume they don't pay time and a half, because otherwise you would just hire 2 people, right? Instead of just having one person do 100 hours, you would hire 2.5 people and split it up among them, right? But the reason they want you to work 100 hours is because they're only paying for 40 of them. Right?
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's genuinely disgusting. Like this was the big, like, it's coming very soon off of the SAG strike in the grand scheme of things anyway, and that was the thing that they were talking about with the SAG strike, is if the actors are striking, well, why aren't we paying the tech workers more? Well, because maybe the actors are the most visible members of the industry, and they can set a precedent for people in the tech industry and the video games industry getting more money and unionizing.
Yeah, plus they already have a union framework for
with the SAG guild.
Yeah.
Is it SAG
I think it's just SAG, right?
Yeah,
it's like
Screen
when you
Actors
say
Guild.
It's like when you say PIN number, you're saying personal identification number. SAG Guild would be Screen Actors Guild. Guild, which is fine. Like, only an anal retentive person would care. But I remember there was a guy I used to work with who would get really anal about that. He's like, it's not PIN number, it's just PIN. I'm like, okay, calm down. Calm your tits.
Jeez. But yeah, for them to be boasting about it so soon after that whole malarkey went down.
I'm still gonna play the game though. I pre-ordered it already.
You are contributing to the
horrors,
toxic pre-order culture.
Yeah,
Kris.
In my defense, I pre-ordered before he made those comments, so maybe I should cancel it. I don't know.
You should cancel it and let everyone know you canceled it. Social media campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Make a big deal about it. Yeah. To be fair, I'm not really all that excited to play it. It's just another game where I play a white cowboy, so it's just I'm sure it's an awesome game though.
The most wonderful of male character archetypes.
Yeah. It's a game where I'm sure they put a lot of effort and time into it, but it's just the way they went about it just doesn't sound too appealing.
No. It's not practices that we should be encouraging.
No. But they have horses that poop, so, there you go.
Everybody poops.
Need to work an extra, 17 hours a day just to get that in. But,
time well spent, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Elianora's not excited about the horses of poop.
I barely touched the first one, so I have no...
Well, I'm hoping that you're not touching poop.
Are you not a fan of playing cowboys?
And I'm not a fan of playing male characters in general. I have a hard time overcoming that.
Hey.
I've not touched Witcher yet because I don't want to play a grumpy old guy. Speaking of upcoming games, the beta for 76 is starting in 5 days on Xbox.
Nice segue.
Is it only starting on Xbox, or is it starting on
other platforms? Is I think 28th, before Halloween, is when it starts on PC.
Okay.
And I think I should probably pester my employer for a beta access for Xbox, because I only have a PC game pre-ordered and I really want to play it, and maybe I could, now that I have a new TV. I bought a new TV, my first TV I ever bought, and so I could play Xbox on it. and I could play Fallout 76 on that. I would be really bad.
Are you gonna announce your gamer tag so we can all
How does it work?
add you as a friend?
I wonder if you...
It's Elianora XOXOXO.
Yeah. It's like Elianora pawns you 85XXX. No, how do we add friends on Fallout 76? Wait, do I have...
Well, it's not on 76. You have to add a
on
friend
Xbox.
on Xbox, right? Yeah, so I have to look for your
gamer tags. I don't... probably the real Elianora, I don't know. Don't add me on Xbox. I haven't turned my Xbox on in years, so I have no idea.
I turned mine on yesterday, and I discovered that my gamer tag is Assbox360. And so I immediately changed it because I could not submit that to my employer. So it's now some Takahashi. So yeah, it was Assbox360, but no longer. It is now some Takahashi, which is completely work safe. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about it, because if we make a character on Xbox, we can't use that same character on PC, right? They're not even cross-platform play, right?
No.
So I don't want to like make a character and then start over like 5 days later. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I might just wait, because I mean it's only like 5 days, right? Is that what you said? Is it only like 5 days from the Xbox beta to the PC beta?
Yeah,
Like,
probably. The Xbox beta is in 5 days. I know that. And 28th was the
So
PC
then,
and
yeah,
PS4.
that'll be 5 days. Doing maths.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my actual gamer tag. It appears my gamer tag is Elianora. Would you look at that? That's him.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good, because it's like it's original, unique, so it's not like other people would take it. You don't have to have like numbers on the end.
Prepare to be inundated with tons and tons of dick messages.
Oh God. Hopefully Xbox isn't like Twitter. I think there's like some kind of like censorship there, or some kind of,
Prepare for lots of messages filled with stars.
or eggplant emojis.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Curious. I actually have like Xbox messages on my account. There's a ton of like, hello, I'm trying to use your clothing mod for Fallout 4 months ago.
Oh, mate.
Oh, those kind of messages.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you become a modder, you become a customer service person for life. Those messages are gonna like chase you.
They
to the
do,
next
and
world.
when they don't reach me on Facebook, Twitter, Nexus, or my Discord channel, they look up my inactive Xbox gamer account and send me messages through there, because obviously I'm going to respond. That message was 4 months ago.
When you approach the gates of heaven, the first thing they're gonna hand you is just a list of your unread messages from other dead people who've been playing your mods. But yes.
Oh, God, kill me.
So Bethesda actually has let a ton of people who aren't us into the beta, and there have been a bunch of things that we have learned. IGN actually did an article about 45 things we learned about Fallout 76, where they list like all the like interesting things that they've noticed from the technical side. Is there anything that jumps out at either of you in terms of just like, oh, I didn't expect that?
I think it's great that they're paying attention to the whole getting screenshots, because screenshots are a huge thing of screen archery. So there's like the picture mode, they didn't cover it that much, but the photo mode is like, you can actually like expand on it, like get poses or whatever, or find poses. So that's pretty cool. And then there's the whole stash thing that you can access your stuff anywhere in a camp. So those were like my favorite things.
One thing I found interesting is that a server will hold 24 people at a time. I don't know if that's going to be permanent or if it's just a current thing where they're testing it, but 24 people, that doesn't sound like a lot.
No.
The world is like what, 4 times as big as Fallout 4? So
It's gonna be like No Man's Sky.
Yes, it's, imagine like Fallout 4 map. Imagine glowing sea and the other end of the map, and add tons of more map to that. How long it's gonna take for you to like find other people there. But you can freely fast travel to your friends or like the camp, so it's not too bad. Like you can find your friends easily. You don't have to walk half a day to get to your buddies and play with them. But you won't be probably.
Oh, I
you won't
like
constantly be battered by other players. Like imagine massive multiplayer online games where there's so many people. Exactly. There won't be. I think they could do like go up to maybe 64 people in a server. That would be pretty good. So it wouldn't be too empty. We'll see what they do. It's a new territory for them.
Yeah, there's probably a happy medium.
It's a new thing for them. We should give them a chance to see what they can do.
Yeah, I actually prefer less people. I don't know if like it's so barren that it'll be odd, but I mean that would be no different than like a single player experience if there were no other people, right? And then it kind of makes each interaction like special. Because if there's people everywhere, it's kind of just like, okay, it's just the game. It's an MMO. But if there's like rare encounters with somebody, it's like, oh wow, it's like somebody else is alive.
Yeah. And the thing I tried to play Elder Scrolls Online, and I absolutely hated having everyone else there. Like I would walk around the town and just constantly see people who are better geared than me, and I was completely like I was wearing prisoner rags basically, and they had like this tier 576 dragon armor with the rainbow paint on it, and like I would have to work 2,000 hours to get to that. It's
the worst part is when they just start running and jumping around, acting like fools, because then it reminds you that these are real people
it's like
not in a fantasy world.
Oh, immersion ruined. And or then you go like fight a boss, and the boss is supposed to be really tough, but this guy who's 100 levels above you comes and like looks at the boss and he dies. And you're like, well, I didn't want to fight that monster anyway. At least I get some loot, I guess. So yeah, I don't want that happening. Like, I don't want other people messing with my adventures.
It actually seems like it would fit, like, the theme and tone of the game, too, right? So if, like, you see somebody and it's, like, the first person you've seen in, like 5 hours of play, it's, like, it's almost like if there actually was a nuclear war and you were like one of the last people on Earth, you would be like searching for other people. When you found another person, it would be like a big deal, right?
Yeah.
I think there's like a TV show about it.
And the vault can't possibly hold that many people, so you're actually like meeting people from the vault who've also emerged instead of just like, yeah.
And you have no idea if these new people are like cool or if they're like assholes. So it's just
Yeah, but that's why there's the pacifist mode. Like you don't if you don't engage other people, then you'll be fine, and you don't like you can just run away from them. Like it's a small immersion thing. Like anyone can attack you on the streets when you leave your house, or people can attack your home when you're in your house. So it's like, but the only option if you don't want to fight is to run away. It's a bit more of a realism thing for me, so I kind of like that odd chance that you can just get randomly attacked by other players. But if you don't engage, they turn into they get this like murderer tag, and they will have bounty and everything, and then they can't see other players, so they be marked that they're a bully. Or if you want to fight them and you've got friends around you, your friends can engage as well. So if you so it's good to have friends around.
Yeah, that will be me. I'll be the guy saying, "Hold me back, hold me back," hoping my friends take over.
So some guy attacks your camp on his own, thinking you're easy prey, and then all your buddies join, and then you totally own him because there's like 5 of you against one guy or something.
Yeah, I wonder if you could ambush people like that. You could have your buddies like hide, and then you could just sit there like pretending like you're one of those thirsty beggars.
I don't know, because you can see other players on the map unless you're a murderer. So you can see other players on the map.
What if you sat yourself down next to another beggar? And they were like, well, one of them's false. But which one?
Idea for a mod.
Except there's no other humans. There's no human NPCs. Every human on the map is a real player.
Oh, well, where's the fun in that? Oh.
It's going to be environmental storytelling mostly. Right. There's not going to be anybody talking.
Except the robots or something.
Yeah.
What if you sat yourself down next to a robot beggar and you were dressed as a robot?
No. It's not going to work, Alice. Just give it up.
I'm not dropping it. I'll make
And
it
I
work.
And even if you get your ass kicked by other players, you don't lose your gear. You just lose your junk. Like if you've been collecting stuff, like you're gonna lose all your adhesive, and it's gonna be in a paper bag where you die, and then you can go back and get it if you want. But if you're like,
I like that idea.
I didn't need that. I didn't need those 3 fans and a sensor module anyway, so I'm just gonna leave it because the other douchebag is gonna be waiting there to ambush me again. But he can't ambush you because you're only, I don't know. I guess your level doesn't reset. You just get teleported somewhere safe, and you keep all your gear. Because there's like armor level. You can't wear something if you're not high enough level.
Yeah, you could just wait until this 13-year-old griefer goes to sleep, or his mom takes away his Xbox, and then you could go back and get your paper bag full of stuff.
Yeah.
I hope they're 13. I mean, I can't imagine like an actual adult, like a 45-year-old man
grieving someone.
People.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's me.
Oh, that's gonna be you in
the
25
griever.
years.
Yeah.
When your beggar mod is finally released.
Yes, when I finally
Time
figure
to
out
play.
how to program things.
Mods are gonna be interesting. My guess is if they allow mods on private servers, what people are gonna do upon the game launch on PCs, they're gonna hack the NIFs like they always do. There's gonna be like, you could probably swap like models. I don't think plugins are gonna work, but maybe mesh replaces, textures replaces, stuff like that might work. So like, can you not knock yourself into the microphone? Okay, my mouse pad has been taken over by the furry creature that meows. Yeah.
This Alice, you speak cat.
My cat can't hear you because I'm wearing a headset, so.
Oh.
I don't think she would have understood her anyway. But,
Excuse me, I was planning to have a fantastic discussion about physics with your cat.
Of course. Just cat things, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, cats are very good at physics. I mean, when they understand like gravity at least.
Yeah, like landing on your feet every time.
So I believe it. I believe you, Alice. I'm sorry for mocking you. Clearly, you have a PhD in both physics and cat speak. So
I hope Fallout 76
Yes.
will have cats.
how could it not have cats?
I don't. They have a cat model already from Fallout 4. They should just reuse it and put
exactly.
them in the game. I want cats in my settlements. But what I
Crafting
don't
cats.
understand about this settlement thing is like, you have a camp, and do you just move the same camp everywhere? You can't have multiple settlements. You can just have one settlement, and you can leave it, and then you can come back. Which is kind of nice, because I have a hard time like managing multiple settlements. But that's not going to be nice for those people who, you know, want to use settlements for salvaging materials, food, water, stuff like that. But there's not going to be settlers anyway, so
Yeah, I mean,
there's no one working the crops unless you do
people
it.
would abuse that if they, because I mean, are camps visible to other players or are they not?
I think they are, but only if you make them in like public spaces. There's just random places where you can place them, or like public locations that already have like a marker.
Yeah, I would probably build like 70 camps or some shit. So it's probably best that you have one camp and you can move it. That's probably another thing they had to probably take into account in terms of just resources, right? Because 24 players, it means 24 camps, so right? So
Yeah,
it's-
rendering multiple camps for it would cause a server overload very easily. There's only so much of an online world you can alter without sending everything into meltdown.
Can you not knock over the microphone, please? MXR just tweeted, "It's very hard to express an opinion about Fallout 76 on YouTube without offending anyone."
We've managed it because we
Well.
have no audience.
Did MXR, was he part of that group? That
No,
got
he
into
wasn't
the-
in Greenbrier. Other YouTubers gave him the material that they recorded, so he could make his own videos and give his opinion.
Nice. That's nice of them.
Yeah, it is, but he's got some, like, he can have good opinions on things, so it's good to have multiple opinions.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
Friend of the show, I guess. Well, I guess friend of the show, or are they married? Is he married to Jeannie? I don't keep up with this stuff.
I don't think they are. I think they're just like dating or something. I don't think they're cohabiting or anything. I don't know. Someone give us dirty rumors about MXR's private life.
I have no clue. I talk to Jeannie about work stuff, but that's about it. Like once every 6 months or so. But yeah.
I don't talk to MXR. I just met him in E3, like briefly. I didn't meet Jeannie either. She was
gossip.
Oh my god, Elianora and MXR are dating. XOXO, you heard it here first.
This is awful. We're turning to TMZ.
I love spreading rumors. I'm a dick.
Will you confirm or deny your relationship with MXR, Elianora? It's like that old thing where there was like a political race, and I don't know what the exact quote was, but they said, let's like start a rumor about X candidate like fucking pigs or something, right? And the point was not that he actually fucks pigs, but to make him deny it.
Are you talking about David Cameron here? Because that happened.
This is like an old quote. I don't know if it was a pig or a goat or something, but the point is that like it's bad press if you fucking make him answer the question.
Right.
So there's like it's just like
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a political strategy behind it. I don't know, remember the exact quote, but yeah. That happened with David Cameron too, huh? With pig fucking, huh?
Yeah. Oh, the funniest saga in British politics. And now you know where British politics is. It's all downhill from there, honestly.
Still better than our politics. Anything else from 76, or do you want to move on to Doctor Who?
We've been talking for like half an hour already, so maybe talk to her time. I could talk about 76 a lot.
I love her. I love her.
Who is who? Elianora? Are we starting another rumor? Alice in love with Elianora.
Yeah, my boyfriend won't be too happy about that.
No.
Yeah, so I know it's Jodie Whittaker that I love. It's
who doesn't love her? She's awesome.
I am enjoying this series more than I have done since Tennant.
And we're two episodes in. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you're already claiming it to be best Doctor Who ever.
It could be all downhill from here, but I genuinely want it to be good.
Yeah. This episode was really cool. I like the whole race concept.
Again, it wasn't a world-altering, universe-ending conflict.
Right, it was.
I'm liking it being a lot smaller in scale. It gives some scope to build, you know?
Yep. It's just...
Yeah, I like the concept of like an interplanetary race. It's what I imagined the Kessel Run to be before that Solo movie came out and made it something different.
Yeah.
Oh dear, I haven't seen that. I should watch it.
Yeah, but yeah, interplanetary race. I thought that was cool. We did find out something interesting about Ryan. He is a Call of Duty player.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, Call of Duty, fuck yeah.
Does he play zombies though?
And he went in there and kicked some robot ass, and then the robots respawned.
Yeah, that's what
like
happens.
People do in Call of Duty. They just respawn. You never die. You just respawn.
Oh, do they in Call of Duty? I haven't played that game. Maybe I thought that was...
It depends on the game mode. If you play Search and Destroy, you don't respawn until next round.
Maybe that's what Ryan plays. He plays Search and Destroy. He wouldn't like Fallout 76, or he wouldn't like Fallout 4 because enemies respawn there too as well.
Though in 30 days, so you can kind of get away from that.
That's true.
Not in 2 seconds like those robots did. Asshole move. So
in this episode, they basically had to finish this race in order to like win a prize
and escape from the planet.
Exactly. And so because they were like not only robots but like these evil like mummy bandages or something that would just like wrap around you and kill you.
And parasites living in the water.
Yes. It was all kinds of dangers. It's very hard to survive, but luckily the doctor was there to, I don't know, guide them through more or less. And we also learned that I don't know what their name is, but they put teeth in their face, are going to be like the main villain of this particular season, as they are the ones who like decimated one of the racers' planets.
Yeah.
And in general are causing havoc. They destroyed the planet that this episode takes place on, and so we've learned
and that's
that.
nice because by putting the focus onto an original villain instead of falling back on the age-old Dalek, Cybermen, Master kind of thing, it's a nice change.
Yep, it really is.
Because we've suffered so much oversaturation of the big three, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm not scared of the Daleks anymore. I'm not scared of the Weeping Angels even anymore.
Were you ever scared of the Daleks?
Yes.
They have plungers on them. They have plungers and like an egg beater.
Yeah, but the first, the revival came out when I was, what? When did the revival come out? 2005? I was 9. I was scared.
Okay, they might have been terrifying at the time, but oversaturation is a good word for how I feel. A Dalek episode here and there, maybe, but
when you have Go-Go Power Rangers Dalek edition.
I am now annoyed that I forgot the name of the warrior race. The tooth faces.
Stenza.
Starts with
it's the Stenza.
Well, it's another warrior race that starts with S. Of course, Google would think it's some Tarrant. Yeah, the Stenza, right?
Just Google.
Now I can.
Teeth face. There you go.
That works.
So is there like facial texture? Is it just like sticky or something? Does it stick, or do they have like slots for teeth?
I think it's malleable, like clay. You know?
Ugh. Whatever it is, it's really gross.
Yeah.
So if you punched one, would your like fist get stuck in their face?
No, it would freeze to death. You would get like instant. Your hand would need to be amputated.
Okay. There you go.
But if you poke them with something that doesn't freeze, it probably could leave a mark. That is so
Imagine
gross.
if you like worked in an office with them, you could like stick your pen into their face and it would just get
that
stuck
would
there.
be hilarious.
That would be funny. They wouldn't be so frightening anymore, would they? But the mummy wrapper things were terrifying now.
Oh, and they could read people's minds and stuff like that. So what do you think that's going to be, where they read the doctor's mind and they said that there was some kind of like secret or something?
Yeah, that was ominous.
Well, I guess it's alluding to what's going to be the major story arc for this series.
Yes. I assume it's something that it's going to make sense after the fact once we get
Yeah,
more
I feel like they're
episodes
going
into
for
it.
the slow build bad wolf type thing instead of the there's a crack in my wall type thing. You know? They're going for the Russell T Davies approach rather than the Stephen Moffat approach, which I appreciate because we all know my feelings about Stephen Moffat as a showrunner.
I'm okay with both. I like that there's like a thing in the background.
I prefer the slow build. I think just where you're not sure what's quite a clue until you go back on a rewatch, and I love rewatching things. I love watching hints to things. I've been rereading. I've been rereading the Harry Potter series for like the umpteenth time. I just finished it just before this podcast actually, and I just really enjoyed in the first couple of books reading through and being like, oh, so these are all the instances where Rowling is probably hinting that Snape is actually an Occlumens, so he can read people's minds. Because the amount of times that she says, it looks like Harry felt like Snape was looking into his mind, kind of thing, in the first couple of books was like really cool. So I like picking up on those sorts of things, where they hint towards things that are revealed later on.
That's why like rewatching or rereading is fun, because you're like, oh, this was hinted earlier.
Yeah.
And then it happened later. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
And we also got more clues into the Doctor's personality. I mean, I guess this is typical Doctor stuff, but at the end of the race where there was like competition where one person clearly won, she kind of convinced them to go in together and make it a tie. And very, very Doctor-ish
definitely
thing to do. And once that got settled, we got introduced to the new TARDIS.
But that was my least favorite part in all of the new Who stuff. The despair of hers when the TARDIS wasn't there. That was so un-Doctor-like. She was like, the Doctor would be like scanning or coming up with a plan how to find the TARDIS or what could be wrong, and she was just like, there, it's over. I failed you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She gave up. That was new.
She gave up, and I was like, the Doctor doesn't give up. The Doctor comes up with a new plan. Just give her a few minutes and there's a plan. I don't know, maybe he wanted like to give the future companions like a chance to be like, we trust you. We're not giving up. Why are you giving up? But I kind of it didn't feel like the Doctor.
Yeah, I think that was an effort to kind of just make the Doctor seem less like a Mary Sue. I don't know, make the Doctor sort of have these doubts that I guess they wanted to introduce that into this particular iteration and have the companions be the ones who are like
more sure-headed,
the spirited ones. Yeah. So it was an interesting choice, but it flies against all the previous iterations of the Doctor where they never.
I didn't like the new TARDIS design. I don't know.
I didn't like the screwdriver either.
Neither. At least this one doesn't look like a sex toy, thankfully.
But they were like huge crystals in there, though.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it reminded me of the Martians from War of the Worlds. You know, I don't know. It was something about the design. Well,
it looked very alien.
But it looked more like they were just big spiders' legs, and I don't like that. I don't like spiders. And the things that were coming down from the ceiling, the pillars, just looked like big spiders' legs.
We didn't get to see enough of it. I would have enjoyed a longer tour around the new TARDIS. But I did like the nod towards... Was it one of the special edition episodes, like Christmas, was that 11 goes to that blonde guy's house and he's like, oh, you redecorated. I don't like it. And now she's like, oh, you've redecorated. I really like it.
Nice little nod.
That's another example of where rewatching kind of pays off.
It was just, there was just something about the design that didn't quite gel with me.
I do agree that it was very poorly lit, so it was really hard to see what was going on.
I really like the fact that she got a biscuit. From it was like a little whirling glowy TARDIS thing, and then there was a biscuit. She was like, oh, I'm going to eat the biscuit.
It's custard cream.
What's the biscuit?
It's an English delicacy. Custard creams are well loved.
Okay.
You can get
custard again.
It's not actually made out of custard. They're just called that. But basically, you can get like a custard cream spread in England, and that's basically the inside of the custard cream. So custard cream is basically 2 vanilla biscuits with like a vanilla-y flavouring in the middle. So it's like a sandwich, and you can get jars of
like
just
Oreo.
Yes, it's like an Oreo, but vanilla biscuits instead. It's like a white Oreo. Or vanilla Oreo, whatever.
Today I learned.
Yeah. But you can get just like a massive jar full of the spread that goes in the middle of it. It's fantastic.
Oh, nice.
They go really nice with a good cup of tea. They're excellent dipping biscuits.
Yeah, they should really have a place in the TARDIS where you could just like get messy and just eat and leave food and booze all over the place or something.
Have we ever seen a kitchen in the TARDIS?
No, we haven't.
I don't think so.
What does the Doctor eat?
Chips.
Or fish fingers and custard.
Has it ever been established if the Doctor even needs to eat, or if it's just something cosmetic or just for like fun?
Well, we know that he likes chips. Wasn't the whole thing about him needing food was he was hungry or he needed it to settle his stomach after regeneration or something?
Yeah, was it something to do with fueling the regeneration and not actually? Because we've never seen a kitchen in TARDIS, but the TARDIS gives out biscuits now. So did it before. These are all excellent.
These are all, these are the questions that I really hope are answered in later episodes.
Yeah, is there a bathroom in the toilet? Not in the toilet, but in the TARDIS.
I was going to say, who the hell has a bathroom in the kitchen? I thought that's what you were getting at.
No.
You weirdo.
Well, yes, I have my toilet right next to my fucking oven. You know, that's how we do things in America. We eat and then we take a shit right after.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, my office is in the kitchen,
Nice.
so. But there is a swimming pool in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
We've seen people fall into it, so naturally there's probably some sort of bathroom as well. So you need to.
Where does the poop go? Just
You
right
need a
into
bathroom
space?
to go swimming and stuff. I don't know.
We need to ask the people of
Hmm.
Rockstar because they're the experts on poop. So, anyways, anything else about this episode you guys want to talk about?
I just really felt with the character who was going for a nap all the time.
Yes.
Honestly,
He was an asshole.
He was an asshole, but he also napped a lot, and I think that speaks to me more than any kind of valiance or integrity
You
of
would
his
not
character.
have lasted long on this planet. The mummy raps would have gotten you
No.
real quick. I just,
Yep.
Here you go, I'm yawning.
I don't-
Yeah, exactly. But at least I'd die asleep.
We're already into episode 2, and I'm already hating Ryan's angst against Graham. He's like, "You're not my granddad," and then like all grumpy again when they were fixing the engines.
Yeah.
He's like, Graham's trying so hard to be family with Ryan, and Ryan's just like,
No.
"You're not 13.
Yeah.
Please, you're 19. Behave like a
Yeah.
19-year-old. You're supposed to be an adult."
The thing is they're setting it up for when he actually accepts Graham as his granddad, and the problem is they're like driving it home too hard. It's like
It's gonna be pretty obvious.
if they made it a little bit
Yeah.
more subtle that that they didn't get along, it would come as more of a surprise and be more well earned. But I think they're just it's a little bit too obvious that that's gonna be the case, and so when it actually happens, I'm just gonna be like, finally,
Yeah, but what then? What's the dynamic between the characters gonna be then? And also, are they trying to set up Yaz and Ryan as some sort of couple?
I hope not.
Yeah, same.
I just, no, don't.
I don't know if they even have much
No.
chemistry, right? Have they even hinted that they would be interested in each other at all?
Well, the way they look at each other sometimes, yeah. So I was like afraid that they might be becoming an item.
That's true. In the first episode, he was kind of like, when he saw her, he's like, oh yeah, it's like
Hey,
almost
hello.
like, like, look at you've grown up, and it's just like, oh, okay.
It's like, no, stop it. No, no, no.
It's gonna be interesting since I really like the bits where like Clara was at home or doing non-companion things
Yeah.
on her own. So it's gonna be. I really want to see what these companions do when they're not traveling with the
I don't know,
Doctor.
maybe that's where they're gonna do the romance plot or something like that. I don't know. It's because there's so many companions that it makes more sense to intertwine their lives a bit. When it was Clara is just her, so then you could introduce outside characters.
Yeah.
So it'd be a bit interesting on that front.
Ugh, I hate what they did to all the companion females who have love interests. Though, think about Amy and Rory. Think about Clara and Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy, brother ho, brother
Like,
do it, brother
It
ho.
never ends well.
Danny Pink, I think his name was.
Superman, that ho. I mean, are you, Granddad Soldier Boy? Granddad Soldier Boy. You've lost me now,
No
sorry
idea
guys.
what that is.
What?
I have no
Me
idea what that
neither.
is.
Internet sensation of the early 2010s, Soldier Boy?
I think it's a little too modern for me. I've never heard of it.
Nope, never heard of it.
I-
Joke lost on us.
But, it's just,
Make a reference from the 1990s, and then I'll know it.
I was 5.
Say something like "Stop Hammer Time."
But it doesn't
Ice
go
Ice
with
Baby.
Soldier Boy. It doesn't go with Soldier Boy.
Sing the lyrics to
Why?
"Crazy Train" or something.
I don't know the lyrics to Crazy Train.
How do you not know the lyrics to "Crazy Train"?
I probably do when you show
I
it
don't.
me.
Crazy, but that's how it goes. Millions of people living as foes. You don't know that?
No.
Going off
I'm
rails
hopeless.
on
I don't
the
know anything.
Crazy train.
Who's it by?
Ozzy Osbourne?
Oh yeah, I know it.
Ugh,
Just not your version of it.
Come on.
I probably would, but not Chris's version
No.
of it.
It's a unique rendition, isn't it?
Yeah. I just have that good of a voice. It's just...
You have that something of a voice, dear.
It transcends professional artists. It's just on its own other level, because there's levels to this stuff, as what's his face says, Kendrick Lamar. See, that's a modern reference. I know Kendrick Lamar.
I don't know Kendrick Lamar.
Do you know Kendrick Lamar, Elianora?
I know the name,
No.
but not him.
Yeah, I've heard the name, but no idea who that is. Which is weird, knowing names but not knowing what they're referenced.
That's how I feel about Taylor Swift. But yeah. So we've talked for about an hour. That should be it.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Bam.
That's it for this episode, Lore Friendly.
Is that how it goes?
Tune in next week where we get more input from Eleanor's cat and give our first thoughts possibly on 76 if we play it. If not, just more Doctor Who.
Yay! Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. I have been at work non-stop recently. When I'm not at work, I'm crying.
Okay, so
I'm currently coming down with a disease because the costumes that we wear are really fucking cold. Like, one of our characters is a prostitute, and so we're not really wearing that much, and I'm freezing cold down there, and I'm probably coming down with pneumonia.
didn't prostitutes in like the old days, weren't they just like better clothed or?
Well, I am currently wearing a costume that does some very strange things to my boobs. So it's like a corset, but it's not made. There's like 8 girls who wear this same costume, and it's not made to fit any of us. Now, I'm quite busty, so what it does is it pushes half of my boobs down to my waist,
Ouch.
and half of them up to my chin. So I sneezed yesterday when I was wearing this costume, and I ended up actually headbutting myself with my boobs.
I can imagine.
They're not very comfortable costumes.
Do they at least like cover the shoulders though? Because I think that's where people, you really get cold is like the shoulders. If those aren't covered,
It covers the shoulders, but the material that we're wearing isn't insulated. Our skirt is literally a flimsy bit of fabric, and
yeah.
as the girl costumes don't come with any proper cloaks or blankets or coats or anything.
Yeah. You need to like do
And
some
we're
research and maybe find some alternative history where like prostitutes wear chainmail or something.
I wish. I'm literally just gonna send an email saying we need blankets if we're doing this character all the way through winter because I'm going to freeze to
Maybe
death.
there's like a coat that looks like skin or something. You just wear it on
That
the
just
outside.
sounds creepy. That's called leather.